That was fast. Hey guys, we're live. It's Ted Bogert with the TED Show. We are with musical spotlight artist. Our guest, Caleb Lovely, is on the show. Welcome, Caleb.
What is up, Ted? Thank you so much for
What
having me.
is
It's great to
up?
be
You
here.
have this whole professional look back there. I've got empty chairs. I mean, our budget's about $3.45, and that includes a White Claw. So there is not a lot going on in the background.
Absolutely
But I'm
perfect.
very excited to have you on the show. I love all of the information you provided on the Hey GP on the form when you filled it out. We want to talk about your hair at some point. That's my favorite. But we
Thank
obviously
you.
want to talk about your musical journey. So, welcome to the show and tell us a little bit about you.
Welcome. Well, my name is Caleb Lovely. My last name is Lovely, so God given. Thank you very much for your blessing. I appreciate that. I was raised in a very musical family. My mom and dad were entertainers in the Air Force, so I was a military kid, and they traveled the world singing in a organization called Tops and Blue. So that was really really
So
cool.
cool.
Yeah, really really cool. So growing up, I grew up in the church, and my parents, sang specials on Sunday morning, and that was the thing. So I just I developed like this sense of love for music at a young age. I was even visiting my mother this past weekend, and she was like, "Do you not remember when you used to take a wiffle ball bat and turn it upside down, and you were wearing a cowboy hat, and you were dancing to John Michael Montgomery at the Pizza Hut in like 1992?" I'm like, "That is as country as heck." you
It
know?
totally is country.
Yeah. So
So they both sang. Well, first of all, big thanks to them for their service.
yes, thank you,
That's
thank you so much.
amazing. But
Thank you.
I love to hear song. I love to hear about stories of how the child, how you got inspired. So you obviously grew up around it, but
Absolutely.
that just because they're talented doesn't necessarily mean they pass it on. So how did
100%.
you realize at what point did they go? All right, Caleb's got some talent.
You know what? I think it was probably when I started joining the kids choir. I think maybe between 5 and 9 years old, I was in a series of church musicals. One was called Go Go Jonah, and I play the lead role in this play/musical. And then also I would sing like I think I sang Silent Night at the Christmas service as a solo every year from like 5 to 9. So I think that was when they kinda saw that, but ironically, when I first saw Lenny Kravitz playing a Gibson Flying V guitar, I was probably 9 years old, and it was probably "Are You Gonna Go My Way," if my timing is correct. And once I heard that guitar riff and saw him playing on TV, I thought, "That's what I wanna do for the rest of my life." So from 9 to 12, I just begged my parents for a guitar, and, my dad like, you won't stick with it." And I used to go to stores like, and this is probably dating me, but there was a store called Sam Goody and this store called Media Play, and they were record stores, that sold CDs, not even records at the time because, records weren't cool back then.
Yeah,
And
no,
so, but they
way
had,
before your time.
right? So, but they have this section where they would sell guitars, especially starter guitars. So I would always go to that section, the first thing that I would do, and I would almost always leave the record store with a CD. My first 4 CDs, and this probably sums me up perfectly, was Hanson, Middle of Nowhere, Britney Spears, Hit Me Baby One More Time, Lenny Kravitz. I can't remember if it was 5 or what it was, but then it was Red Hot Chili Peppers,
Yeah.
uh, Californication, and then Goo Goo Dolls, The Girl. So those are 5 records that I listened on to on repeat, and it's probably the perfect culmination of who I am as an artist.
How did your parents, like when you came to them and said, with this music thing, I want to do this? Was that a surprise for them, or had you been kind of grooming yourself, or had they been helping you kind of grow in your music and your
You know,
passion?
that's a great, great question. I have never had the conversation that I'm doing this. Yeah, most days I still wonder what this is, especially during COVID. It
Sure.
feels like it's a glorified hobby now that I can't travel and go out and perform. This is the longest I haven't performed in, oh my gosh, since I was probably 15. This is definitely the
Wow.
longest. So, but I think with the guitar, I started playing guitar because I was just enamored by it. I was absolutely mesmerized, captivated. I just thought it was the greatest thing ever. The first thing I did when I got my guitar, the day before I was at Media Play again, and I was 11. So my next day was my birthday. I was turning 12, and I asked my dad for a guitar again because it was just like the ritual. But this one, kind of hit me the wrong way because he kind of made it seem like he was never going to get me a guitar and then I need to stop asking. And it floored me, like screaming, crying, 11-year-old me. I specifically remember saying to them, if you don't get me a guitar, I'm going to get one on my own one day and I'm going to grow up and be a rock star. Then you'll be sorry.
The threats as kids.
Yeah,
But
that's
I
me.
think I understand, right? They knew the music business, they knew that, well, at least the music world.
Oh,
And so
yeah.
they're like, come on, is that really what you want to do? Because I would say most 11-year-olds or 9-year-olds are they don't have the focus for an instrument. I think I played 6 different instruments, maybe practiced for a week and said, this is too much for me. So you really have to have that dedication, that devotion, that passion for it. So you get the
Yes,
guitar,
sir.
and then what do you do? What do you do next? Do you begin immediately writing music? Is that how it progressed, or had you already started writing prior to that?
That's a great question. I think that I actually stopped singing once I got a guitar. It was just my focus. I wanted to be the coolest kid in school because I wasn't the coolest kid in school by any means. And I wanted to play the guitar. I wanted to be that kid that could play the guitar really well. So even from the beginning, I was lying about how long I played. My first year, I was like, oh, I've been playing for 3 years. And then after I've been playing for 2 years, I'm like, oh, I've been 4 years. I actually lied my way into auditioning and joining jazz band in 6th grade because that was my thing. So I had just got the guitar in 6th grade. I was 12 and I went to start school and I really wanted a way to play guitar. So I went to the band director and asked him, he's like, well, how long have you been playing? Because it's mandatory. Most of these kids start in elementary school. So you have to have 3 years of experience. I'm like, well, you're in luck. I just passed my 3-year mark. He's like, okay, cool. You'll have an audition next week. I kid you not. I went home and I had my mama take me to Walmart. This was, where was I living? I was living at about 30 minutes outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania at the time. And we went to Walmart and they used to sell posters in this like thing that, you'd flip through and there'd always be like Britney Spears posters or like Playboy posters, or maybe not that, but swimsuit model posters. But then there was this one that had guitar chords and it had all the guitar chords or most used guitar chords. And I bought that thing and I stuck it up on my wall and I sat there with a guitar and I just practiced and learned the chords that was on the sheet music of what I had to audition for. It was Girl from Ipanema. And I learned it until it was flawless. And
Wow,
I played
that's
it the
an
next week.
interesting song for it to be.
Ain't that the truth? It was either that or Norwegian Wood, one of those two. But you know what? I did it and I got the gig. And so from there, it was just me learning how to do this on the way. And so I can't tell if it's a good thing or a bad thing that I lied my way into it, but it's taught me
No,
a
I
lot.
love it. You know what? I was going to comment on that. I love the fact that you were confident enough in what you wanted to do and in growing your passion and building on it, that you were willing to do the work to kind of catch up to where you already knew you'd be. It's kind of like a law of attraction. I mean, you built it, it'll come. So the talent was there and you got in, which is amazing.
That is amazing. Thank you for saying that. I didn't look at that. So that's pretty cool.
It's very awesome, your story. I want to talk about how you progressed though as an adult, because it's one thing this is your passion, and then a lot of people, I know a lot of musicians who were high school musicians, and then that's as far as it went. There was they went to a quote unquote normal job. They didn't pursue their passion even as a side gig. So how did you make that decision as an adult to take it to the next level?
Well, it's crazy. I think this is probably going to get a little more personal than you were expecting. But when I was 18, I was turning 18, sorry. My mom and dad were probably the only couple that were still married that at the time from all of my friends, like divorce was just a normal thing. And so this was about 2006 in the spring. My mom and dad ended up getting a divorce maybe 2 months before I graduated high school. And it was ugly, really, really ugly. And my mama
All right.
ended up leaving. It's okay. And my mama ended up leaving, and my dad got very abusive towards me and my siblings, and I ended up after a bad altercation when I was 18 and getting hit a little too much. I ended up leaving, and so,
Wow.
with that being said, I I fell back to going to visit my girlfriend from when I was 15 in Morgantown, West Virginia. She was going to school there, and I was starting school there. So I kind of went preemptively early. But the kicker with that was that my dad wouldn't sign my school loans. So I was actually already enrolled in school, and I had to drop out after a semester because of the funding didn't come through. So it's okay. I mean, I was going to school for accounting. I loved numbers and math and the business side of things, and so that was kind of like my second passion. But when I dropped out, and because he wouldn't sign my school loans, I couldn't get any scholarships or anything like that, and didn't have a job. I didn't have any money. So at this point, I had learned a bunch of cover songs, everything from Your Body's a Wonderland by John Mayer to, Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls, or Brown Eyed Girl, or, Freebird. And so I would go and I would play these bars in this college town. And my first gig, I was just turning 19. And I remember I played at this bar called Fuel. It's not there anymore, but I played for 4 hours. And at the end, they gave me a $20 bill and they were like, good job, come back next week. And I was like, I just played for 4 hours for $20. And then it hit me, I just made $20
for what I love, for what my passion is.
Exactly. Exactly. So I wasn't looking at it like, oh man, I should have made more. It wasn't worth more at the time, if I'm being honest with you. But to get that and to see that I could make that happen was a big deal.
Well, they believed in you. They saw the talent too. They wouldn't have asked you back. Most places are not that desperate. If you were really crazy bad, they would have said, yeah, nice try, kid. Here's your $20.
Absolutely.
So you write, do you write music? Are you a songwriter?
Yes,
talk about that process a little bit.
You know what? That is what I first and foremost am. I think I started writing when maybe I was 15 or 16. I remember demoing things on this little Fostex tape recorder, and I'd make all these demos, and to me, they were the best thing in the world. But I remember when I did start going to school, I got a MacBook Pro. It was a black MacBook Pro, and it had GarageBand, and that changed my world. Started making demos, writing songs. I was part of a compilation album as an artist with a song that I had produced and made, but I never saw myself as a producer. I just thought, okay, well, I'm this songwriter singer that needs to have songs out in the world, so I guess I'll figure out how to do it. Kind of took a break from that, and though I've been making records the last 10 years, actually it probably has been exactly 10 years, I've always relied on other people and their talents to make my records until I moved to Nashville, Tennessee, maybe about 3-4 years ago. And I was just going to be a songwriter. I was like, I'm just going to switch from being an artist to writing songs for other people. I love country music, and I love the American songwriter, and what that entails, the storytelling, the way that it makes you feel, what it makes me feel. And I want to capture that and share it with the world. So I moved here, started writing songs, and about a year later, I got pretty heavy into the production side of things, and I was touring for a country artist, playing guitar and keys for them. I've done a lot of side guy work in Nashville, Tennessee, and that's actually was what I started paying my bills, is that I was being hired to, to play all these different instruments, like multiple instruments. Like I would get a call and say, hey, can you play bass for this run down to Florida? And I was like, yeah, sure. And they're like, you play bass, right? I'm like, yeah, for sure. Didn't have a bass. Borrowed my buddy Jer Gregg's bass and here in town, and got a bass. But it happened the same thing with lap steel, and it happened with mandolin, keys, guitar, all of the above. So dobro, just whatever I needed to do to make it happen and provide for my bills, I made it happen. So that translated into me building a studio, and this is the studio that you see now.
Beautiful.
Thank you very much. And I just started making records, and I was making other artists' records here in town. So depending on who you asked in Nashville, I was, oh, Caleb, yeah, the guitar player. Oh, Caleb, yeah, the keys player. Oh, the banjo player. Oh, the producer. Oh, the songwriter. But COVID has opened up the doors immensely for me, because it ruined everything. I mean, I had maybe 3 to 4 EPs of different artists that I was supposed to do between March and now, and it was just gone because everything went away. So I thought, okay, well, there's 2 things I could do. One, I could just hang out and chill, wait for this to pass, or I could get to work and start doing what I really want to do. And I've made a record. I made a record all by myself here in this house. Actually had my neighbor Brett, he played drums on with him tonight, the single that just came out, and he has come over to play the drums on a lot of the songs, but I've been able to record and play everything else, and I have about 12 songs done at the moment right now. So COVID's been amazing.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
First of all, I love what you said. You said COVID, you used the word COVID an opportunity.
Yes.
Because I think a lot of people focus on the negative. I'm a big believer in this has been such a great reset
Oh,
for so
yes.
many people, and it has created opportunities, or at least created the ability for people to go, well, geez, what do I have to lose? I might as well do the thing that I've been wanting to do, or try the thing I wanted to do, because what else am I can't do the normal thing I'm doing. So I love the fact that you framed it that way. And I love the fact that you can pick up any instrument. I mean, that is, that is
Thank you.
such a God-given talent. That's amazing.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's either something that's going to make everyone hate me or everyone love me, because it's been born out of necessity, not because I think I'm the best. There's always someone better than me and someone more capable to do the job better. But, with the circumstances and the situation, I just had to figure it out. And the answer to the question that I asked every time was yes. And the question was, does this move me? Does this instrument and what it's playing contribute to the song? Does it move me? Does it make me feel things? And if the answer wasn't yes, then it wasn't recorded, you know?
I love. Is it like your baby? I've heard this from people who write songs, who create. Anybody who's a creative, that it's your baby. Your music is your. These are things that are near and dear to your heart. Usually come from an incredible a place of emotion or experience. Is that how you look at your songs as you're creating them and recording them, and obviously at some point performing them?
Truth be told, 100% serious. I truly believe that songs come to me and that they're a gift. I never see them as me creating them. And so oftentimes I kind of black out and, I start actually for this past week, I started writing the song in the shower after my birthday. And, I was thinking to myself while I was in the shower, man, I really don't want to get older. I just don't want to get older. The only thing I have is my youth. No one can take that away except for time. And so I was thinking about it, but then I started thinking about the idea of getting older. And, I moved to Nashville, and about a year and a half in, I met the love of my life, and we've been married for 2 years. And
Congratulations.
thank you so much. But she's changed my world in so many ways. And she's absolutely the reason I'm the man that I am today, because she doesn't take any crap. And I love that about her. But, I was thinking, I was like, man, I don't want to get older. I don't like it, but then I thought, well, if I'm getting older with her, I guess I can get used to that, So I was sitting around thinking about the things that I used to do and the person that I used to be, and I'm just now I don't mind getting older with her. So I had that idea. I jumped out of the shower, soaking wet, ran through the bathroom to grab my phone, and I pull up my voice memos, because my memos is my everything. Like if I lost this, I'd lose all the song ideas I ever had. So I go in and I'm doing it, and I start singing this song, just and humming these ideas, and I get done. I'm like, okay, what am I going to do today? I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'm going to go down and record and just figure out and see what happens. So I came down here and I set up the drums, started playing them, doing the thing. And then I was like, okay, that kind of sounds where I want it to go. But then I went upstairs with a 12 string and I just kept writing the song. And as soon as I was writing it, my wife, Madison, turned to me and she said, I love how this makes me feel. Yes, keep going.
Oh, I love that.
Wrote the song in 30 minutes, and then I came down and I spent the next 8 hours just making a demo. So I did one take of each instrument and sent it off to my managers, and they're like, "What have you done? This is the best song to date." And I think when I first sent them, songs when we were thinking about what we were going to release, I sent them 117 songs in demo form, some finished, and they were like, "This is nuts," but this one takes the cake. So with that being said, I didn't plan for that to happen. It just happened, and
Right.
the last song before that, I probably wrote a month ago. So to answer your original question, yeah, they're my babies, but I think they're so much bigger than me. And I think that they're a gift. And I am just grateful that I could capture them when they arrive. Does that make sense?
Absolutely makes sense. All right. So, I'm anxious to hear you sing.
Okay, cool.
Tell us what you're going to sing for us.
Well, we just released on July 3rd a song called With Him Tonight. And the whole premise behind With Him Tonight is, saying, why are you with him tonight? We could get out of here. I'll show you what you're made of. Why are you with him tonight? So that was the whole idea of it, to say that no matter where you are in your relationship, that there's always someone out there that if you're unhappy, that would love to show you what you're value you the way you're supposed to be valued.
Yes, very good. All right, Caleb, lovely. Drinking his coffee with his tall hair, don't care. He's going to sing for us. Here we go.
Love that. All right, here we go. He walked in holding your hand, now he's leaving the table. Heaven don't understand how he got such an angel. Like he's got something better to do than keep his eyes on you. I see that heart tattoo he's gonna break into. Honey, he's done you wrong, and there ain't no excuse. The way I see it, baby, he don't know. When you came in, you just stole a show. The way you're looking, baby, it ain't right. Now that I'm looking, baby, it ain't right. Why you with him tonight? We could get out of here. Show him what you were made of. Don't let the chance go to waste. Break away from the handcuffs. No, like he's got something better to do than keep his eyes on you. I see that heart tattoo he's gonna break into. Honey, he's done you wrong, and there ain't no excuse. The way I see it, baby, he don't know. When you came in, you just stole the show. The way you're looking, baby, it ain't right. Now that I'm looking, baby, it ain't right. And now you're all alone. He'd rather pay attention to his phone. The way you're looking, baby, it ain't right. Now that I'm looking at you, it ain't right. Why you with him tonight? Yeah, this ain't no breaking news. He ain't the one for you. The way I see it, baby, he don't know. When you came in, you just stole the show. The way you're looking, baby, it ain't right. Now that I'm looking at you, it ain't right. And now you're all alone. He'd rather pay attention to his phone. The way you're looking, baby, it ain't right. Now that I'm looking at you, it ain't right. Why you with him tonight? Yeah, why you with him tonight? 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 Thank you.
Oh my God, that was so good.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
That was so good. Your voice is so clear. I don't want to sound like Paula Abdul. I'm dating myself. It's beautiful. That was beautiful.
Am I going to Hollywood?
You're going to Hollywood. Yeah,
gosh,
it's sad. There's
amazing.
a whole generation that doesn't know the craziness of Paula Abdul and that whole thing.
Man, she was the best.
That was absolutely beautiful, honestly.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Gorgeous. I
Thank you, Ted.
felt it, and it was awesome.
I love it. Thank you.
I love when somebody can create, and then, sometimes you create for other people. You talked about that. So it's a unique gift to be able to create and perform.
Yes, sir.
So thank you very much. That was beautiful. So how do people
thank you.
find your music? How do they? I have your Facebook link going across the bottom there. But how do people, if they want to purchase your music, they want to learn more, they want to become a Caleb Lovely fan?
Man, I love that. I think Spotify is the name of the game this millennium because we're at the beginning of it. I mean, yeah, maybe technically, but yeah, Spotify. So if you just search my name at Caleb Lovely, or if you just go into your Google Chrome, which is the greatest browser, you can. I'm not
Agreed.
sponsored. I'm not sponsored by Google, but I should be. If you just search my name, you're gonna find everything. You'll find a YouTube. You'll find the release "With Him Tonight" is a song I just played. So if you go on Spotify, look that up. You'll be able to find me on Instagram at Caleb Lovely, Twitter at Caleb Lovely. If you're a TikToker, until it's banned, at Caleb Lovely Music. So I'm just all over the place. So you can find me everywhere.
You're a joy, man. Thank you for sharing your story. I love that. I love your talent. I think it's amazing. I'd love as you begin to release things, if you come back on the show and do some promo.
Oh yeah.
Just so much talent. Thank you so much for sharing that with
absolutely.
us today. It was awesome. I think we all need some music in our lives and some distraction. And when it's real talent, it makes it even better. So big kudos to you. Thank you, Caleb.
Thank you so much, Ted. Thank you for having me. It's been a blast, pleasure. You're a fantastic person in that conversation. Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, guys. Caleb Lovely at Caleb Lovely on Spotify. I've got the Facebook there. We'll tag all the rest of it later. You guys reach out. So much talent. Thanks again, Caleb. We'll see you guys soon.
We'll see you later.
Bye, everybody. Bye-bye.